now we are off to my 2.4 kilometer benchmark. Okay, let's hope I don't fail. That's the only goal for today. Alright, catch you on the other side.
Lap 1, 5:32.
Dying.
Lap 2, 6:26.
Okay. So today we'll be doing a 5 kilometers easy run. So my easy run pace would be about 6:37 to 7:17, somewhere there. Okay, let's go. Damn, 7:04, but my heart rate is a bit too high, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna stop and catch up with my heart rate a little bit first. So I'm just at the traffic light right now. Aye. Alright, I'll see you at kilometer 2. Not really a distance milestone yet, but I just wanted to share the view with you guys. Okay, so 2 km. Heart rate is still way too high. Gotta stop multiple times. Don't be afraid to stop, guys. Okay, so I'm just past the 2 km mark. Yeah, I just stopped for a bit. My heart rate is slowly going down. The heart rate zone I'm trying to aim for will be a zone 2, which in my case would be somewhere from 135 to 155, if I'm right. Yeah, my watch calibrated my max heart rate to be about 201, I think. I know that might be an overestimate, but let's just trust the watch for now. Pretty sure there are other pros who will lecture me all about this sooner or later. I'll just catch you guys at the 3 km mark then. Oh yes, the only reason why I'm talking a lot more than my first run is because 1, I'm not doing a time trial, just the easy run, and secondly, I'm running on a very deserted road right now, so there's no chance of me being heard, or at least I hope so. Okay, so my heart rate hit about 130 now. I can start running. Man, my ego is taking a really big hit right now. Yeah, the pace is a bit slow, but like what everybody says, trust the process. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so I've just completed the workout. 5 km. There we go, 42 minutes 49 seconds. So that's an average pace of 8 minutes 32. Pretty bad, but I know. But the point of this video series is to let you guys know that you guys are not alone. Okay, so like I was saying, I once held the IPPT gold badge on my hand. Now it's just all gone. And this is what I need to go through before being able to get it back. So don't be discouraged. I'm suffering too. So suffer with me.
So today, what I'll be going through is the run training that I've did for the past 2 days, right? So what I did was a 2.4 kilometer benchmark, which was on the 30th, as well as a 5 kilometer easy run. So let me just quickly add it over here. By the way, this program that I'm using is called Notion, so if you guys want to follow along, go ahead. I'm first gonna explain how I plan for my week ahead. As you can see, right now I have these two different segments where I split it into April and May. So this is what I've did for April, and I'm gonna show you an example of how I plan for the week. Yesterday I did nothing, so it was considered a rest day. However, I did do a little bit of abs training, so we'll just take it as it is. How do I plan for my other trainings? I usually take a look at the week behind and I make some adjustment based on how I feel like what I could improve. So in this case, I did an easy run here. I have a rest day yesterday and I actually went to the gym today. So gym, next day. For tomorrow, what I plan to do is have a easy run. Why I have a easy run first is because I need to get my aerobic base mileage in. So after I do that, I will plan to have intervals session. So for this training plan, I actually take inspiration from Aero is Everything on YouTube. He's a Singaporean triathlete who I admire, and I specifically took it from this video right here, how to run 2.4 km IPPT below 8 minutes. I will link this in the description as well, so you guys please do take a look. From what he said in his video, you will need to build your aerobic base as well as have intervals session. So the interval session is where you actually build up your speed. You can't have speed if you just run slow all the time, right? The intervals, I actually have broken them down into distance, repetition, time to hit, approx pace, and pace range, as well as the notes. The approximate pace is where we will have to calculate in a bit. I will show you guys the website on how you can calculate it. Time to hit is as what it is, the time to hit within the distance that you're running. The repetitions is the ideal repetition that you should have during your training, or rather not really ideal repetitions, but it's just a guideline for the repetitions, right? So by taking all these, I would craft out an interval sessions that makes most sense to me. If you notice, I actually create my plans based on how I feel like the training should go. And that's how I feel like all training plans should be curated. It should be created to fit your needs. You don't have to follow other people's training plan because they might be too easy, they might be too hard. It's just not ideal. Everybody is different in their own way. So in my case, I actually did a 8x200 and 4x400 in the past, and it felt okay. But I think I could push myself further, so I would do a 12x200 as well as a 6x400, and I feel like I could go for 2x800 meters. And remember, all these I will have to follow my target pace over here. So Monday, we'll usually have a rest day. So let me just put the rest. And Tuesday, I will go for my time trial again. And I'll just leave this blank for now. And this is an example of a week of training plan. So I will modify it based on how I see fit, right? And also everybody's schedule is different. Maybe I might be busy, maybe I have an emergency, maybe I'm working on that day. You modify it as you see fit. But of course, once you set the plan, try your best to follow it. Unless it's an emergency, do your best to follow it. I'm just gonna quickly show you guys the sites that I'm talking about. So this is the first site, it's vdoto2.com. This is the site that he recommended as well. What you can do is to enter your target pace. Remember to enter your distance as well. In our case, it's just 2.4 kilometers. After which you click on kilometers and calculate your pace. You can go to the training tab and after you scroll down, you can see the types of training that you should be hitting before you are able to hit your goal pace. In his video, he told us to look at the repetition row. And for each of this distance, we are supposed to hit a respective time. For this specific distance, we are supposed to subtract a certain number of seconds because he had already tested it out and it seems that this is slightly underestimating your ability. So what we could do is for 200 we minus 5 seconds, 300 we minus 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, right? So this is what I use. Another site that I actually use quite a bit is this pace calculator site where you can quickly get your pace. Say I want a 12 minutes pace. You can quickly see what the pace is like. So just for some quick analysis, let's take a look at the run benchmark 2.4 km that I did on Tuesday. As you can see, I'm actually using a Garmin Forerunner 265, but don't worry if you don't have this type of watches. A simple plain old phone will do. You just need Strava or whatever type of running app and you should be able to see your pace. From this pace graph, you can see that I've actually stopped quite a few times. The first one around here, which is about the 1.2 kilometer mark, a couple of times more afterwards. That's why I wasn't very consistent. Okay, one thing to take a look at would be this run cadence. What is cadence? Cadence is the number of steps you take per minute. And according to some research that have shown, the ideal cadence would be somewhere between 160 to 180. But of course, that differs from a person to the other. What I find works well for me would be on the higher range. So as you can see at the start, I'm going about 184 or just shy of 185. And I feel like that would be the optimal cadence that I should run at. And lastly, let's take a look at my laps. The first lap I completed in 5 minutes 32. That's a 5 minute 32 per km pace. Second one would be a 6 minute 26 pace, and the last one would be a 6 minute 09 pace. So you can see my pace actually drastically drops from the first to second because of all the stopping. What we want ideally is to not stop and continue a pace, and that is the tempo pace that we are trying to hit. Okay, so now let's take a look at my easy 5 km run now. You can see that my pace actually is drastically lower, about 7 per km at the start and mostly throughout. This is the easy pace that I'm trying to maintain. And what's an easy pace? The easy pace is for when your heart rate is supposed to be in zone 2. In my case, my watch calculates my max heart rate as 201. It might be a bit of an overestimate, but I will take my watch estimates for now because it doesn't make too much of a difference when calculating my zone. In my case, my zone 2 heart rate will be somewhere between 135 to 155, plus minus 5 or so. So what I'm trying to do in this easy type of run is to keep my heart rate within that. You can see over here that my heart rate actually creeps up way too high. That's why I took a break and I repeated. A very huge bruise to the ego because I know that I can go faster, but this is to build up your aerobic base. Okay, lastly, let's take a look. Okay, what I'm focusing on right now is my average heart rate. I have a 156, 162, 160, 151, 156, and 170. Is somewhat acceptable. Stop. You need to notice that I actually do stop when the ideal is to try to not. This suggests that I might actually be running a bit too fast. So what I would do is to tone down this. Remember this pace goal? A strict pace goal, especially for the easy run. The easy run is just a guideline. Of course, you can make it faster or slower, but the guideline is to always try to keep it in your zone 2 pace. That is pretty much it.